right, the Player 2 series is here. For Play and Trade Guitars, I'm John, that's Zach behind the camera, and this is Play and Trade Guitars where we play it and trade it. We're going to start out with a look at the Fender Player II Stratocaster, this one with a maple neck. Exciting news is it's also now available with real rosewood again, so we're going to review that one as well. But let's take a look at this beautiful Stratocaster. I think there are some really worthy upgrades, so of course I'm going to tell you everything you need to know. We're going to put it on the bench and pull it apart, and then of course we'll plug it in and play it. At the top, if you're in the market for a Player 2 guitar or any other gear, click to buy new gear using our link. Helps us make these demos. In the States, you're gonna get fast free shipping and easy payment plans when you use our link to buy. So check that out pinned in the comments or down in the description. We're also giving away an American-made Martin acoustic guitar when we hit 100,000 subscribers to be in it to win that D28. What a beauty. Go ahead and make sure you're subscribed, hit subscribe if you haven't, and sign up via Gleam, that's also down below. All right, without further ado, let's get started on the Fender Player II Strat with a maple neck. It's looking good, let me show it to you. All right, the first thing you may know are the new colors. This is Hialeah yellow, and if I'm mispronouncing that, I'm sure I'm not the only one. And in terms of the feel and the construction, this is definitely a step up from Player 1. I can already just feel it in my hand. So let's talk about a few of those upgrades. I love these vintage style slot tuners. And then this neck, it's these rolled edges on the maple neck. And that's a big standout feature of the way they're making these necks, and it feels so comfortable in the hands. It's a modern C-shaped neck, and I just think it looks really good. They went with a 2-point modern tremolo. So the Player 2 series is supposed to represent a budget level guitar. This is at $7.99, good price. Let's head to the bench. Starting up at the top of the headstock, you got Fender spaghetti letter logo and a nice kind of tint to this gloss as well. So you got the poly finish, and you'll see the vintage style slot tuners that I was telling you about. These look great. And then you can see a satin finish on the back of the neck, which really does feel good. Standard, everything in terms of a Stratocaster. Again, no surprises in terms of what you expect from a Strat, but just higher quality output. Go ahead and get the strings out of the way and get some measurements. Go ahead and pop out this maple neck. We got an alder body. You can see the alder down below. So we've got a modern 9.5 inch radius, which feels nice. And then we got the modern truss rod adjustment at the top as well, which I can seriously appreciate when I need to adjust a guitar. Got a synthetic bone nut, comes in at 1.65 inches. First fret at 0.82 inches, up to 0.86 at the 12th. You got your lovely Strat contours here. Alder body comes in at 1.86 inches thick. A little thicker. Let's flip up this 3-ply pickguard, take a look underneath. So you can flip this up, you can see they went with traditional 250K pots, everything hand wired, 5-way selector switch. You can see the back of these single-coil Alnico 5 pickups. And then this is nice too, if you're into modding, they've already got the body routed for humbucker in both bridge and neck. So if you want to go crazy, routing is already done for you. Although not to steal their thunder, but this series offers the HSS configuration. And also the really cool thing they also offer, it's alder body on this one, but they've also got chambered ash and chambered mahogany, which we'll review, so stay tuned for those. Let's go ahead and flip on the multimeter. We'll get a reading on these pickups. Hot are 8.0 in bridge, 7.5 in middle, 7.1 in neck. Give you a look at the trim cavity here. Nice 3-ply cover for that. You can see the raw alder again. Nicely routed. Everything looks clean under the hood. All right, let's get a weight. I'm gonna guess somewhere around 8.5. Oh, a little more than that. 8 pounds, 14 ounces, 8.8 pounds. And then flipping this Strat around, initial reaction, definitely the satin feel of the neck is noticeable. The rolled edges of the maple neck are noticeable as well. And it's just a nice float on the tremolo. Sounds good unplugged. Remember, if you're in the market for this guitar or any gear, do us a favor. Use our link to buy new gear. You're gonna get fast free shipping, easy payment plans. Helps us make all these videos on the channel, so thanks for doing that. This really is my favorite part. Let's get it plugged in. I'll show you clean tones, we'll dirty it up, and then we'll let it sing behind a track. Stay with me to the end because I'll give you my raw, honest reaction to playing the Player 2 Strat along with a final score. So I'll see you on the other side. Drop a comment as we go. Let's get plugged in. right, the Player II Strat in Maple. I had a lot of fun playing this guitar. You stuck with me to the end, so I'm going to give you my final score. I based that final score on three main things: overall playability, overall sound, and overall value. When it comes to playability, I love this modern C-shaped neck. It feels great in the hands. The satin is especially noticeable. It's a smooth playing experience, and the rolled edges are really beautiful. Now, the Player II series in general, right? I mean, these are the main headlines in terms of updates are going to be the tuners, the rolled edges, particularly on the maple strap, because the other big story, you can watch our review, is the real rosewood that they brought back at this price level. But what I'm really happy with is, and I'll talk about this when I get to value, they haven't increased the price in this series, so it's still at $7.99. And I think that's really fair. And I think Fender took some points from Player 1 and really updated them nicely in Player 2. So playability, it felt great. I'll tell you, I did notice that the factory strings that came with this guitar were a bit hard to keep in tune. I actually restrung the guitar just with some fresh strings just to eliminate all the variables, and I didn't have any problems. It came pretty well set up from the factory. I just put some fresh strings on there, and it seemed to help the stability of the tuning a lot, so I will point that out. So overall playability, because I had maybe a little bit of tuning issues out of the box and I had to replace the strings, I'll go ahead and give it an 8.5 on overall playability, but the standout here is the neck shape with the rolled edges and that satin feel. It makes it very playable. Moving on to sounds. These pickups are the Alnico 5 pickups, the Player 2 pickups, and they're probably about the same as the Player 1 series, but they're a little bit hotter, a little bit more modern, and a little bit brighter. And I think that for most styles, especially driven styles, rock, you name it, where you want a little bit of extra push, these pickups sound fantastic, and they're still doing the classic Strat sound really well. I'm very impressed with the sounds. I'll go ahead and give it a 9.2 on overall sound. Let's talk value. I like that Player 2 did not come with a Player 2 price increase. It's still the same price as Player 1 at $7.99 for this Strat, including the Strat with rosewood now. So I think they made some worthy upgrades. They kept the price the same, which is to be applauded. And I find it to be a great value. It is a solid Strat. It is a no-nonsense Stratocaster for $7.99. I think it looks great, I think it feels great, and it sounds great. It doesn't come with a gig bag or a case, so you'll want to get some sort of case for it. I do wish they included a gig bag, but they don't. But overall, I'm happy. It's $7.99. I think I'm going to go ahead and give it a 9.1 on overall value. That's going to bring our score for the Player 2 Stratocaster, this one with a beautiful maple fretboard and maple neck, to 8.9, a solid Strat at a great price with some great worthy upgrades in the Fender 2 series. Let me know what you think in the comments. Remember, if you're in the market for this guitar or any other gear, click to buy that gear using our link. You'll find it pinned in the comments or down in the description. When you use our link, you'll get fast free shipping, easy payment plans, and it helps us make these demos, so thanks for doing that. Check out the other Player 2 demos and all the other guitar and gear demos across Play and Trade Guitars. I'm John, that's Zach behind the camera. Thanks for hanging out today. I'd love to hear from you in the comments, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care.